Alright. Hello again, Max and Drucken here, and I'm going to do the next three. The next three are Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Son of Godzilla, and Destroy All Monsters. So, without further ado, let's get this pratty started. Alright, we got Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, a movie somewhat ruined by Mothra, but yet not as much as the other ones. There was no Silk Mothra, no like silk spitting and shit like that with the worm. It was just the moth. That was okay. The fairies were only semi-annoying in it. Mothra was in it. It didn't ruin the movie, but it didn't really do anything else for me either. Ebera, otherwise known as the Sea Monster. I don't know how you actually pronounce it. Ebera. I like to say Ebera because it just sounds like the way it should be to me. I don't know. I liked the fact that it was, you know, a giant sea monster, but I didn't like the fact that it wasn't really much more than just a giant lobster. It wasn't like a giant lobster biped or anything like that, you know, like kind of like Godzilla's a giant, you know, dinosaur lizard biped that spits fire. You know, it was Ebera's just, you know, a giant lobster that has big claws. Ooh. Mothra is a giant moth, but you know, it's like a deity, and I like that. But anyway, they started getting into the terrorism thing in this movie, which surprised me. I don't know how bad terrorism stuff was in those days. I don't know if that's what they were trying to go for, was, you know, what was going on in the times. But you know, it's like a terrorist group called, I think it was the Red Bamboo. It was the Red Bamboo. There was another monster in it, most sinister and evil monster called the Condor. Yep. Basically just, you know, a Rodan wannabe, but it was much smaller. It was basically just a giant condor. I think that's all it was called, was just a giant condor that attacked Godzilla at one point during the movie. I don't know how many people know this, but this movie was actually originally going to be another Japanese King Kong movie. That is why there's a little bit of a connection between Godzilla and the native girl that is in the movie, because it was originally set for a King Kong role, which, you know, King Kong, he loves the ladies, so, you know, that's a role for him. But I did like Godzilla in this movie. I liked how he started out by, you know, he was just this ominous, gigantic beast that was, you know, sleeping inside this mountain, basically, in this gigantic cave inside a mountain. And, you know, he was just an ominous presence, like, you know, but, you know, and they woke him up, and he busted out, and he's Godzilla, and he's gonna whoop some ass. Like, who the fuck woke me up? You giant lobster? You woke me up? I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You know, that's basically how it happened. But I loved how they brought him into the movie with him inside the cave. This was the first movie where Godzilla basically started becoming more of a good guy. Well, I would say that more about Astro Monster, because he didn't really destroy too much city in Astro Monster. I don't think maybe he didn't destroy any at all, but maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I can't remember off the top of my head, you know, because there was so much in common between Ghidorah and Astro Monster. But this was, you know, basically where they were, you know, basically trying to hint towards, you know, we're not going to make him a bad guy anymore, you know, because he said, well, he's going to destroy the city, and then the guy's like, no, he won't. So no, he won't. I know Godzilla, he won't. He'll destroy the Red Bamboo, they're the bad guys, but he won't destroy the good guys, I swear. And he didn't in the movie. He just, you know, he destroyed the Red Bamboo's facility, fought Sea Monster and everything, and unknowingly helped people escape and shit like that. So and of course he had that epic jump off the side of the the side of the island there before it exploded, which was always fun to see. But yeah, I like Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. A lot of people don't, and I don't really understand why. I loved the music in it. It was a fun movie. Mothra was kind of meh, and the fairies were kind of, you know, but they didn't exactly ruin the movie. They just didn't help it any. But yeah, I liked it. It almost seemed like it got the first up close and personal kind of feel with Godzilla. You know, people were like, oh, there he is, just like one-on-one with Godzilla. You know, and then he was sitting on that rock and, you know, touching his nose and shit, and yeah, you really started to get to know Godzilla instead of be afraid of him, you know, and understand that he's not a bad guy, he's a good guy, you know. But yeah, so out of 10, Sea Monster, I don't know if I should go all the way to 8, but I want it to be above a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I liked Sea Monster. 7.5 for Sea Monster. It's a thumbs up. I'll watch that any day. I might watch that after I'm done with this. But then they made the next movie, which was horrid. Son of Godzilla. Ugh. This is, not surprisingly, my mom's favorite movie, because it's, oh, look at the cute, isn't he so cute, little monster? No, he looks like a turd. He looks like a fat turd with legs, just in the and sound like a donkey with the and oh, where are you taking Godzilla? What are you putting him into? He's got the big anime eyes and getting picked on by the bully mantis with teaching him how to breathe fire, and oh, the music was funny. I'll give the music that. The acting was horrible. Oh my god. I usually don't say much about acting in these movies because it's Japanese acting, and I can't hate on foreign acting because I don't know what's good in foreign acting. I like the movies for monster mashes, but the acting was just, oh my god, just stop. I want to see monsters. The giant spider, ooh, it posed a threat. But ooh, it brought down Godzilla with silk, just like the Mothra things. Oh god. Ooh, it has a spike that comes out of its mouth. Why the hell are you letting its mouth get close to your eye? Oh, you're Godzilla. You should be able to just like raw and then kill it. You know, you're Godzilla. You are the king of the motherfucking monsters, and you're gonna let a spider take you down? You're gonna let a spider take you down? What? Yo, and little baby be riding on his tail. Fuck you! Fuck you and your baby. I hate this movie. 3. It's on par with the English fucking raids again. Now this last movie here, Destroy All Monsters, unfortunately, I do not have a DVD copy of. I know it's out there, and I want it. I want it like so bad, but I have no monies. As soon as I have monies, I will acquire it. But I first heard of this movie, of course, when I was a kid. I had been gradually collecting Godzilla movies. As a kid, I did not know what order they went in, so when I saw Godzilla on the shelf, I was like, oh, there's another one! Oh, there's another one! You know, I didn't know how many there were or anything like that. You know, but when I walked into the movie store and I saw, oh, a new Godzilla movie, you know, or another one, oh, there's one I don't have, you know, and then, you know, that was back in the day when I was getting movies like Godzilla vs. Gigan and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which the two of those I got in like a double VHS thing, which was awesome. But then I saw this on the shelf. You know, I didn't know what it was at first because it was sitting sideways like this, you know, and it said Destroy All Monsters, but then I looked up. And there's fucking Godzilla standing there. And I was like, oh, that looks like a Godzilla movie. Hey Ma, look over here. It's a Godzilla movie. And then I pulled it out of the slot and turned it front like that, and I saw that artwork. It has Godzilla, Baragon, Anguirus, Mothra, Minya, Rodan. Oh, Ghidorah. Oh. And then I looked on the back, and you can see Ghidorah, and Godzilla, and Baragon, and Anguirus. You can see Manda, Gorosaurus, Rodan, Varan, and then it has the names over there. There's also Kumonga or Spyga in it, and oh. So I was like, oh, it's a gigantic monster fight movie, and it was just awesome. Oops, it was just awesome. It was awesome. It was the best of its era. It was, you know, Final Wars? This was the Final Wars of its time. It was just so much destruction, you know, a monster in each city, and it was just classic. And then they all fought Ghidorah at the end, and Ghidorah got his ass kicked, you know, and it was just a monster mash. You know, they could have ended the Showa series with this, and it would have been golden. But then they had to continue on with Godzilla vs. Hedorah. You know, I'm glad they continued on to Gigan and Mechagodzilla, definitely. But they didn't need Megalon or Hedorah. But, well, maybe Megalon. Megalon the monster was cool, but the movie just sucked. But, well, that's a movie I don't have. I have it on a, I don't even have the VHS of it anymore. Huh. I have the Mystery Science Theater version of it. But anyway, back to Destroy All Monsters. Destroy All Monsters was just a classic. Well, I think it was the Keylock aliens. Oh my god! They brought the house down, controlling all the monsters, just controlling people, and just, you know, taking shit to the Japanese. God, it must suck to be the Japanese. You know, I figured everybody would just move to another country. Maybe they'd leave them alone. You know, leave Japan to the monsters and the aliens and shit. You know, just, you know, Japan is overrun with these gigantic, awesome things. But anyway, Destroy All Monsters was just great. It's just great. It's a classic, and I was so happy when I got it when I was young. And this is still the one I got when I was like 7, and it still works great. You don't even know how many times I've watched it. Oh my god, it's probably one of my favorite Showa movies of all. Man, and look at the artwork. Look at that artwork. Oh my god, that is just a jam. You know, that's a jam. But anyway, Destroy All Monsters is awesome. So, we'll move Destroy All Monsters over here on that side. And we have Godzilla, and Sea Monster over here. So, Sea Monster, yeah, what did I give it? Did I give it a 7.5? Yeah, give it a 7.5. I loved it. Sea Monster, I loved it. You know, I actually might, no, I can't play VHSs anymore on that. But, yeah, I might watch that. Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster was just awesome. 7.5. Son of Godzilla just was not a movie. It just was not a movie. I gave it a 3. And this guy. Did I rate this guy? 9.5. Good God, 9.5. The only one I'm going to give a 10, the only reason why I'm not rating a 10, because the only movie I'm going to rate a 10 is my favorite of all time. So, and that doesn't just include Godzilla movies, that includes all my monster movies. And only a select few of you know what my favorite monster movie of all time is. Gamera Revenge of Iris. Now you all know. But anyway, so yeah, 9.5, 3, 7.5. Alright, that's it. Tune in next time.